We'll get the mic on. That might help. Hello, 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 everyone. I am just going to check my phone to make sure I have good sound this evening. I think I got it figured out from last time. So last time was quite the fiasco with about 15 minutes of reverb and trying to figure it out. And there's something with my speakers on my computer that was reverbing back. I silenced it and I think we've got it figured out. So I got a little fuzzy on my mic. I've gotten some static and some different things happening on my sound apparently, and some great feedback recently. So we'll see if this softens things and doesn't rustle against my clothes. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, crazy week, crazy last couple of weeks. So thank you for those of you stopping in. Hey, Jana. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. Oh, good. Sounds perfect. So I just some little tiny tweaks just to make it a little bit better, so it's a little bit more pleasant on the ears. But yeah, crazy week. So those of you following me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Huge announcement the last week and a half here. I am on the design team for Brutus Monroe. So that is off and running, and I've got product, and I've made my first couple of posts. I went online to look at some product because I got some videos coming up that I need product for, and I saw one of my first projects on their website. So I was just like, oh my gosh, it's real. So yeah, it's crazy exciting. So just been crazy getting that stuff ready. But I wanted to do a relatively easy card tonight, but it's a type of card that I haven't actually done before, and it's a card die that we can make into a shaker. We're not doing a shaker yet because I'm going to have to practice that before I do that on camera. I've never made a shaker. It is absolutely adorable. Hey Don, welcome. So it is a dress die. Hey Don. It's a dress die from Scrappy Boy Stamps. And backstory to this before we jump into this and show you how cute and adorable this is. I was doing that show for Peddler's Den, which I'm on their design team now too. So 2 design teams here in like the last 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy. I was doing a watercolor demo in her booth here in Georgia. She was at a show, and right behind us was Scrappy Boy Stamps booth. And I had seen them setting up. I was getting my stuff ready and my watercolor area ready and my table set up. And I was like, on a break or on lunch, I'm going to have to run around because I haven't actually used any of their stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to invest in some other stuff. Super adorable, cute stuff. And so on a break, I walked around the corner, and the guy's like, hey, do I know you? And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, oh, okay, you look familiar. And I shopping in their booth, and he's like, are you sure I don't know you? And I said, no, maybe. I said, I'm on YouTube and under Manly Made Minute. And he looked up and he goes, I follow you. That's why. He goes, I totally follow you. So anyway, I chatted with him for quite some time, and I said, I haven't used your stuff. Haven't done a lot of character kind of things. I want to get into it. So he kind of hooked, I had to pay, but he hooked me up with some new stuff. This die being one of them, because I said, I've never done shaped cards. And where would you start? He goes, this dress die is super easy to use as kind of a beginner, kind of not too complicated. And so I've made one as practice, and it's so adorable. This one can be used for a wedding dress. It can be used for a little girl's dress. It can be used for an Easter dress, birthday card, miss you card, you name it. I did Google it. There's a couple, not many pictures on Pinterest, but a couple made it in white, just all white, embossed in this exact die. So I thought incredibly cute, and I gotta do this. So let's go down. I'll quit blabbing. I'll quit chatting here, and this isn't going to be too long, to be honest. It goes together relatively quickly. There's no stamping unless I put a stamp on the inside, a sentiment. I may or may not tonight, just because I'm not. Oh, hey Deborah, welcome. You're on a plane on the way back from Colombia. Wow. So I, what was I saying? Totally lost track. Anyway, let's go down. Let's take a look at my sample I made. And oh, it's going to go together easy. This is all die cutting and assembling, and that's it. I couldn't figure out how to do one layer of this for the die cut when I tested it. I looked it up today, and I think I figured it out. So we're going to try to add one more layer to this for dimension, because I like my dimension, right? So let's just go down and take a look at this and show you what I have. Let's throw some hearts up there. We're almost out of Valentine's month, so I've got to throw some hearts up if I can get them to pop up. All right, here is the dress card. Let me just move this and zoom in here just a little bit for you. Is this not adorable or what? So I used, and here's the deal. Let me grab it. I've had this pack of designer paper literally since I started doing cards, because some of it was like I just haven't had the need for some of these designs or thought of a card that I could put it on. This stuff though, I've got to find more of it. It's a velvet design, and this is beautiful, and I got to find more of it. It came in this pack, but if I can find more of this kind of stuff, I use this. I've been hoarding it because I could use it literally on every card. But look at this. So there's some of these little whales and octopus, Happy Easter, St. Patty's Day stuff. There are little spiders, Halloween things. But I haven't had, this one's got little Hershey Kisses, or if you want to call them a certain emoji, is what it looks like to me. So pineapples. Anyway, I almost got out the Happy Easter one and made an Easter dress out of this. But I decided, because I rarely would grab this paper, so I thought, let's just make a dress out of it, and I matched the little velvet top to it with a little belt and the flower that comes with it right here. So, and then I just added some embellishments where the bubbles were. I added little gems. So, incredibly adorable card. So easy to put together. And so let me just move this. Here's what I'm going for this evening, because I thought I want to do a little flowery kind of girly kind of dress. So I got out this designer series paper. Then I'm going to use, instead of a white card base, I'm going to use a pink card base, and I'm going to try to do 2 extra layers. I'm going to try to layer the white on the inside to write on, layer my DSP up here to dress the inside, because on Pinterest the person had this dressed up on the inside. Then where this is just my yellow cardstock. There's a layer that you can make to pop that up and then puzzle piece this together. I think I figured that out, how to do that, so we're going to try that tonight. So then I'm going to do, this is my card base, this is that popped up layer, this is the top of her little dress, okay? And then my white to try to pop that piece on in the middle. So what you have to do, now, I will tell you, I'm going to get out my Big Shot. I have a Big Shot. I have a Gemini. I don't use it very often. I got to get used to it. But you'll have to get Gina's flocking sheets. You can velvet any... Okay, I may... Dawn, you may have to tell me how to do that and what that means, because I love this velvet paper. Okay, so I have a Big Shot. I have the extended base. I do not have the extended plates. Now I almost bought them when I had to get a replacement of this, because this does not fit on the regular size plate. Okay, it comes off the edge. So I have put 2 plates together to do this, especially to do the card base, because you got to do it in one piece. But these other pieces you can just do normally. Okay. So that's the only trick to not having an extended plate to do this. It's doable, and I'll show you what I do to make it work. So I get out my pieces, I extend this out, okay, and I'm going to line this up. And so as I go through, I'm going to put this second plate down, just butt it up against. It doesn't cut perfectly, so I'm going to have to trim once I run this through, okay. Now I'm going to take the double die, okay, it's together. This is your card base. And then you need to take, and I don't think I grabbed the right sheet of paper. I didn't. Let me grab a white sheet of paper, because you've got to cut this the long way, not the short way, okay? So let me just cut that really quick. And you got to do about 5 inches. So it's a little wasteful on the paper, because I can't cut this at a nice 5.5 and use the other side. It's got to be 5 inches to get this all on there, because it's relatively wide. And I would actually go a little bit more just to give myself some wiggle room when I lay this down in the die. So about 5.5 actually. So you got a little waste of scraps here of this. All right, but you could turn this into a little square card, this would be what's left of this. Yeah, a little 3x3. You know, so cut it down to 6 and then make a little 3x3 on that. And then you'd have very minimal waste, actually. Okay, now, or just use more from the, yeah, oh, absolutely. Yep, I could cut out the flowers and different things, absolutely, yep. Okay, so now, lay this down, lay my white down, and I try to get as much as I can onto one plate. And I'm only finagling this because I don't have the extended plate. That's the only reason. So just know that this is not part of the whole like die. It's just what I have for supplies, okay? But again, just making it work. All right, cover that, and then I'll add this as I run through. I'm just going to kind of clamp this together and run this through. And then as I get there, now I'm just going to add this to this piece and then run that through. And I'm going to have a little bit of a gap where I got to do some cutting, but it's minimal. So now you can kind of see that little piece where that little divot was. And that's actually less cutting than I had the first time I did this. So, and that was just my first time trying to finagle these through. So I'm going to zoom back out just a tiny, tiny bit. So now I'm just going to cut these little tabs that it just skipped over. And it's not hard. It's actually, I mean, it's, but remember this becomes, oh, and I should have did this in pink. That's okay. I'm going to cut this down then to use for my other side, or on the inside. Like so, and then just a little piece there. All right, so we're gonna do this one more time with my pink, because now I'm gonna cut this piece to use on the inside to write on. Okay, but we'll cut that evenly with my my paper cutter. All right, one more time. I just wanted you guys to see this twice so that you can, you know, ingrain it and figure out how to do it. All right. I missed what I'm going to ink up. I'm assuming the scraps, maybe? I missed what you guys were chatting about there. All right, let me just do this one more time because I wanted to do a pink base, not a white base, like I did on my practice card. So we're going to run this just through one more time. Cover plate there. Got to make sure you got both hands going on this one. All right, like so. And this one. It's a little harder with Big Shot because you're kind of having to hand roll it through, but all right. Lots of die cutting on this one. Kind of fun though. I mean, because now it's like I don't have any inking to do tonight. So it's just kind of fun to do something kind of different. You know, I don't think I've made a whole card ever that's just all die cuts without inking or smushing or doing something, you know. All right, now we're just going to fold this. So it does give you that little crease with this as well when you run it through. And when I do that, I just kind of make sure that I'm kind of lined up around my edges so it stays nice and crisp for me. This isn't a super thick cardstock. I think this is like 60 pounds, so it's a little thinner. So it's a little easier too. Now, think about this. You could just use this and decorate this, you could color this. I mean, I love this die. I love it because there's options, is what I really, truly like about it. Now, what I'm gonna do here first, I'm gonna do my other piece that's gonna lay over top of this, and then we'll cut out this. So I need the piece that has, where did she go here? Oh, I need this piece. So I need this piece that's gonna cut out my outline for me, okay? I believe that cuts out the outline. It's supposed to anyway, because it did in the picture, but now that I see that, I don't think it does. But let's try it, because maybe that's why I didn't do this last night, because these ones do not have that to cut out. Let's try it. Okay, so this was going to be my piece for that, because now that I look at it, there's no die around the outside edge to make that happen. So, but I can cut it. I can probably fussy cut it. Let's see if I can fussy cut it. I just noticed that when I was looking at that, I'm like, there's no outside edge to make it happen. So let's just see if this works. Could I just take the top plate off after you cut and then move the plate down partially over? Oh, you could. Yeah, you totally could. I mean, you're just trying to finagle to make it. Yeah, you totally could. I was trying to not to like get it to move on me, and you know, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's just then run this piece through and see. I think this just cuts out. If I remember right, I did this last night, and now it's just going to cut this panel out. And if it does, we're going to do it the same as I did last night. I'm going to have to ask, because when I saw this picture on Pinterest, it had the outline, and then they inlaid on the outline. And I already can tell this is not going to do it. Oh, glitter. Yes, on the glitter. So yeah, look. So now this doesn't do the outline, but I could cut it. I can see where they probably just fussy cut around this to lay that down. So I wanted this outline on there. But, yeah, it's just not, that doesn't work because it just cuts out the negative on that. So I don't think I'm going to fussy cut this because I can tell like around through here, it's probably not going to match to this as best as I probably want it to. But I could probably do this. Let me just check something. Yeah, I think that's still going to be hard to line that up, but let's just see. If I line up my edge, like so, I'm just seeing if I can make it work. I'm not going to fussy cut it, but we're going to just see if this would actually work to do it this way and then trace the back side. Yeah, I think that's going to be too hard. It's probably doable, but then to line it up equally, that's just too hard. So scratch that idea. We're going to do exactly like this card. We're just going to lay my pieces in and then use the pink as my outline, but I wanted that dimension. I'm going to have to reach out to him and see how they did that, because these other dies, if you look at these, that's not going to do it, and this one's not going to do it. So I'll reach out to him and ask. The good thing is, the other part of this story that I didn't finish here is chatting with him. You know, he's like, are you local? And, you know, I said, yeah. I said, I'm in, you know, just down in Noonan, Georgia. This show was like an hour and a half away from my house. He's like, oh my gosh. Because we looked at a house in Noonan, and he's up in I can't remember what town it is, just north of me. So he's like literally 20 minutes from here. So I definitely said, we'll have to, he's a huge Copic colorer. And I said, we're going to have to hook up for a cocktail, and you're going to have to kind of teach me some Copic marker coloring. So, especially with his characters and all that stuff, because I want to get better at it. So, hopefully I can get a lesson on some coloring over a cocktail or something. Okay, let's get out this, and we're going to use that same die that I just used for this design. Now when I looked at this, I wanted this section of this because of the flowers through here, so I'm going to cut this down and use that section to cut this out. Isn't that going to be pretty? Like, what a great paper to use for this dress. And I'm cutting it down to the same width on my DSP here to 5.5. I'm just going to cut a big 5.5 inch strip here and use that strip. And then we'll run this through just the same. And I want to place this. This is one of those things I have learned in card making that take my time a little bit, because now I can place. Do I want the big rose? Do I want all these little flowers? Do I want maybe the big rose on the top and then this on the bottom? It's about just slowing down a little bit. In the beginning of card making, I would just cut this, throw it on anywhere. Now it's like I can cater to what I want for this design. So I'm going to put this about like so, because I want this darker flower over here and these light flowers and things on this. And then I'm going to just tack that down so it doesn't move on me. And then run this through. Yes, Deborah. Hopefully, not too many, so I can still color and learn how to cope with color. But yes, they were game. I met him and his partner. Super nice guys. All right, here's all my little dress pieces. And now, before I lose any, I've got one stuck right there. I'm gonna just grab my little bowl and throw these in my bowl so I don't lose these. And this is just puzzle piecing together. Okay. Now think about this, even this piece. I could make a card front and just ink blend over this with different colors, or emboss over it and put some embossing powder on there and make just a card front with just the dress on it and a little sentiment, right? So I think that would be cute too. All right, now I need the, I'm looking at my design here. I need the little frill fluff or ruffles and the top here. So I'm going to redo this die again with my pink, and I'm just going to place it like so and run that through again. So this is just cutting out all your pieces, and then all you're doing is assembling the cute thing, and you're done. So I used to set a kind of cuts when working, but I'm jealous because Shawn here I got two things I got to show you. Let me cut this first, and then I'll get these out. Because these are the cutest little bowls ever that I had made for me. But let me cut this out first. So Cordelia, I have in my craft room, I've got some old cupcake tins that I use, especially if I'm making masses of stuff. Then I have these little dishes, and I'll show you these dishes. A friend of mine who is a potter, I think pottery maker, made these for me. I used to work with her back in Minneapolis, and she does it kind of as a hobby slash extra money, and sells them at crafts fairs and stuff too. And so I reached out to her and said, I want these little, I found these little dishes at a flea market somewhere, sent her a picture. Can you make these for me? And I said, I don't care the color, I don't care the design, I don't care, I just want some sort of design on them. And here's what she came up with. So she just did this little design on each one. And I said, I don't care if they're perfectly the same size, that they're handmade by another artist, and that's what was important to me. So then I have these three, and I think I'm missing one. It's probably sitting in here, in my drawers here somewhere. There's 4 of them. So they're all kind of different little sizes. They're not perfect, and I just love them. I absolutely love them. They're handmade, and I know who made them, and so I use these more than my cupcake tins. Let's put it that way. Okay, now, just looking at my card here, I need the inside base, And then I'm going to need this curvy one cut one more time for this inside, because I want to throw that on the inside, as if it's the inside liner of the dress. Okay, so I'm going to grab this DSP here one more time, and now I just got to use half of the card base to cut that out. So the only time I got to use all this through is just for the card base. The rest of it fits on a normal Big Shot, or whatever you got for a die cutting machine. All right, so now I'm just going to place this one. We'll run this right up through to where that cuts off in the middle. I'm going to be missing what? Shawn's going to have a burglary one day. He'll only be missing his condiment cups and a pool stone. And so, yes, these stones are heavy, though, so you better bring somebody to help you carry them out if you're going to come steal them. I love my stones. I know there's these other things that people are using, the kindness stone thing and stuff too, which is really cute. But I love my big heavy stones, because they will flatten a card out like nobody's business. All right, I'm just cutting this along that embossing part where it should be folded, like so. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and I'm just going to hand cut this now that I hand cut the other one. I heard this the other day on a video, so I'll share it because I'm trying it. If you're going to cut through stuff like this, just hand cut it, or even on sentiments where you just cut that little piece but it still gets crooked somehow. I heard somebody say in a video, when you're cutting, look to where you want to end. So usually we watch here where we're cutting, but look to the end of where you want to cut. So I'm starting my shear where I want to go, and I'm aiming it to where I want it to end, if I can find the embossing here. And it's like, it's straight every time. It works. So, all right. Let's throw this down inside. So this is just my inside base so that they have space to write on, okay? That's all we're doing here with this one. All right, so let's just glue this down. I want my tidy front up here. I got a couple little smudges on the back, I think, of this piece, but I'm only using my finger because my little micro tip got all plugged up and I can't unplug it, so it's soaking in hot water. So it comes out a little heavy without my little micro tip on there. All right, line this up like so. Now, if you go, I'm not affiliate with Scrappy Boy at all, just so everybody knows. So there's no, I'm just talking them up. If you go to their site, they've got this dress, they've got, I think there was an overalls, there's a baby doll dress, I think it was called, or something to that effect. So they have, there's other dresses that are just adorable, absolutely adorable. That got a little thick, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna lay this one down. It kind of tore right at that crease there because I think that paper got a little too close to the inside. If it tears, I'll throw a little washi on it actually to hold that together. I have some great pink washi. I can hold that, like use it as a binder kind of thing. And I need to cut this down just a little bit to get that to fit. Just a little bit on each of this top edge here. Oop. And this one is not going to have the edge to it because it's that same die, so you're just lining it up right to the edge. Just like so. Okay. All right, let me just get my little bits of glue up here so I'm not messing this up. But yeah, you guys got to check out these other dies. Crafty Visage, Cordelia, did you understand? Whoops. Did you understand what I was talking about? What was the question? I missed it. Let me go back up. I'm trying to get him to slide that die over the negative or nest it into the big die of it. It'll fit. I'm trying to get him to slide that die over the negative. Okay, so over this negative, right? So I'm going to go over my negative, slide my die, this one. I'm going to go back up here, trying to get him to slide the die over the negative or nest it into the big die of it. So this is, I cut this out. Is that what you're asking? Okay, the big one. This one. This is the big one. Yep, the large base die. Oh, are you talking about this over this? Oh my gosh. Is this what you're talking about, Don? Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, stand by. We're going to do this. Ha ha. Thank you, Don. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would have never figured that out. Ever. I would have been calling this guy. Oh my gosh, that is like perfect. I don't know if it'll get this top because I cut this wonky. But that, oh, I can use the top edge of it though. Don, you have no idea how happy you just made me. Like, seriously. All right, so I'm just making sure it's nice and even. The best that I can line this up. So first time doing this, so no judging zone here. First time doing this piece of it. And I'm just lining up that top edge a little bit better. See if that holds down. All right, here we go. Get that to run through. Just making sure I didn't slip. I think I'm pretty even. Okay. Here we go. This should work, right? It's supposed to work. So says Don. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because this is what these pieces will still fit into this, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. So then we're gonna flip this. This is my top flap here. And let's see if I can bend that just a little bit better. It got a little thick, so it's not going to line up the best, but that's just okay by me. Yep, it's off just slightly, but that's okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let me get out my tweezers to... Doesn't that small one nest into the big one? No, there's nothing fits inside of each other on this one. That's why I was the one die I thought would cut this out, but it didn't have two edges to it to cut out the outline like this. But Miss Dawn, Miss Experienced, got me what I wanted. This is perfect. I wanted this outline so bad too. Especially when I saw it today online, I was like, okay, maybe I missed part of the die last night or something when I tested this first one. But that fits just spot on too. Oh, yes. Okay, that's it. Now we piece together. I think I cut out, yeah, I did. Couldn't remember if I cut out the top of her stuff here. So we're just going to piece this together. This is another purchase of mine that goes into this. I've said this on videos before, that I like to buy stuff where I'm going to have options. That I can look at something and have options. And what I liked about this, when I was looking at all of these dress dyes, the overall dyes and stuff, all this different paper and DSP that I don't get out enough even, because now look, I can make a whole nother one and put that as the top and then vice versa on the bottom. And I don't use this stuff as much, right? Well, first off, Dawn, I'm surprised I was able to translate that and figure out what you were talking about, because normally I would be like, I don't get it, I'm giving up. So, yeah, glitter, cardstock, like, look at, like, stuff like this would look so cute. All right, let's just piece this together. I might leave this empty for a sentiment this evening, because I do think I know who I'm going to give this to, but now I'm not sure if I want to give this as an Easter card or as a birthday card, because I do think I have a little girl who is extremely girly, and I think she would just die over this card. So I want to see if I should do it as an Easter card or as a birthday card. Or just as a card from the uncle. This just screams little niece to me. Oh, I love it. Oh, hey, T. I didn't see you pop in. Welcome, welcome. We're making dresses. Not in the sewing kind either, because you don't want me to sew. However, I have a sewing machine, and I'm tempted to get it out so I can try to do some sewing on some mixed media stuff that I see all you guys doing. But I got to remember how to run it. So yeah, we're just making some dresses. You guys ever have any of the Scrappy Boy stuff or done these kind of shaper cards? This is like my first one. There was a video that I did find on this, making this into a shaker. So this can be used as a shaker too, and I will be trying that. But that's going to be a practice and not doing a video for that, because that'll be a hot mess. Deborah, the die is from Scrappy Boy Stamps. And they've got several different ones that are just absolutely adorable. I think I'm going to go, because I have it in here, I'm going to not do my pink. I think I'm going to throw these from my DSP in there. Yeah. Yeah, and there's some cute little boy ones. Little boy overalls, I think they were, or something. So they weren't just all girly ones. Suppose I should make sure I got all these DSP pieces before I start doing that. And I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. But yeah, has anybody else used these? My brother has made or repaired his uniforms for his re-enhancing. He can sew better than... Yeah, I've done basic square curtains. Like literally basic square curtains with a small hem, and that is it. And I think that's the reason I actually bought the sewing machine, actually, was to make the curtains. We'll add a little bling to this too, I think, and with the little flower. We'll do the little flower for the belt. Dawn, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. I was kind of asking because Dawn, I thought you would have some Scrappy Boy. I actually love their stuff. It's adorable, but like I said, I don't do many character type things, and so I do need to practice with some character stuff. And wouldn't you know it, I'm missing one stinking little piece because I didn't intend to use those. Oh, here it is. Yay. Yep. I was going to do the pink, so I wasn't paying attention on keeping these. Danny, I'm going to have to look that up because I really do want to do more character stuff. There's so many cute things out there. I've just been doing florals and those types of things. So, all right, let's just do a little bling, I think, on these flowers. And I think what I want to do, let's just get out what I'm thinking. So originally I was just going to do this one gem, this one pink gem on the little flower that I still need to cut the flower out. So I was going to do this. Hey everyone, I know there's more of you in here that aren't chatting and just hanging, so thanks for hanging. Welcome, welcome. So I was going to do this. So I'm going to keep this out because that was going to go kind of there on where the flower is going to go. But I am just wondering, I've got these pearls. So if I did a pearl in the middle of those flowers, or if I did not those, I'm also looking at these, which are just these clear shimmer sequins, like so, and this gives it a little bit more shimmer and sparkle. Let me hold these up. What do you guys think? Pearl or the shimmery, shiny sequins? I have my opinion. I'm leaning towards the shimmery sequence, but I think that pearl is cute too, but I think it needs a little glam. So we got two sequins right off the bat. I think the pearls are cute too, but I think we're going to go the sequins because I just need a little sparkle. So we're going to go those, but I'm just going to put it on the flowers, like not all over. So let me just get out my little dishes of what these were actually purchased for. Dump some in. All right. I'm going to add these in there, and then I'll do the belt and the flower while this is drying. So I'm just going to do these little centers. And this is kind of the randomness that I did for the bubbles too. I just put it over the bubbles. And I'm just going to do these green flowers and then leave it at that. I haven't gotten my sequins out forever. I was on a sequins kick for the longest time. Well, that was too much. Sequins kick for the longest time, and now I haven't used them for quite a while. The dry's clear, I know that, so the muteness of the glue here will go away. Come on. Couple sequence people still, so good. Good, good, good. I like how it's very, if I follow that pattern of those flowers, it leaves it very random, just like a little splash up and around. I think I'm going to keep that pink though, because it's almost like that leads up to where that little flower is going to go. I like that. Okay, let's just get these away before I spill and make a mess of them. So really quick, one last thing I wanted to mention. So I mentioned it very, very, very briefly, very quickly at the beginning, that I am on the Peddler's Den design team, peddlersden.com. They're known for scene building. So you're going to see me do something so different than any of my other stuff. Crazy fun stuff to do. Lots of masking and layering and making scenes and stuff set back, like a barn set back up by the mountains with deer and things and trees in front, and layering and masking. So much different than what you've seen of my stuff. So I'm really excited to start playing. I should have my order here, I think, tomorrow from her. And I have one out there with the nuts, if you've seen the nuts posting, because I had to get those first when I was at the show because they were so stinking cute. But you're going to see lots of scene building stuff. So, yeah, I've done a little bit of it, but I'm going to learn, and I'm going to have fun with it because she's got some beautiful stuff. And I love my watercoloring, and these are great. Oh, these are going to be great for watercoloring. And what I'm really excited about, little backstory, is my grandmother was a painter. Not a trained artist, not a trained, didn't do it for a living. She just, back in the day, she watched this guy who, ironically, there's a tie to this. So Bob Ross, if anybody knows Bob Ross, I got a Bob Ross bobblehead. She watched Bob Ross back in the day, and she started oil painting, and she was amazing at it. I would sit at the kitchen table, she'd have her stuff up on the easel, and I would just literally chin in my palm of my hands watching Grandma paint. And I have now some of her paintings. She was an amazing artist. And so I think that's probably, my mom, not so creative. So I do think I got this from my grandmother. And this stuff of hers at Peddler's Den reminds me of the scenery that my grandma would paint. I'm just cutting out a little chunk here for the belt as I'm chatting away. Reminds me of my grandmother so much. So I'm excited to do some of these and watercolor with them and turn some little masterpieces. I can't wait to do a couple and then send them to my mom. My mom will just be ecstatic about it. Especially that they'll be hand painted by me, and yeah, I just think I'm gonna have fun with it. So there's a tie to this Bob Ross. Okay, so then let's move forward. Just within this last several months, I meet this lady by the name of Carrie Ingram Triner on Instagram. And I just lost my little flower, didn't I? As I'm chatting here, where'd my little flower go? Oh, here. No, that's the die. Oh, it's right here. Still in my tweezers. And I reached out to her because she was doing all this Copic marker coloring, and she's kind of given me some pointers and things. And she was watching my watercoloring and then giving me pointers on markers and stuff. She does this evening wind down. Every evening she does something. She videos it and she colors it and posts it. And I get this little Bob Ross in the mail from her. And I just thought, and so I texted her, said, hey, you have no idea how much this means to me. There's a backstory to the Bob Ross. So I sent her a card as a thank you card, and I sent her a hand-painted cardinal card, and she texts me back and says, you have no idea how much this means to me. Now, this is one of those, you're just meant to meet people, right? She says her mother passed away. She started coloring because her mother used to be a Copic colorist. And so she started doing it, and that's how she learned. And so she did this pumpkin for 30 days in a row. She colored this pumpkin to learn how to Copic marker it and color it and do all the stuff with it, right? And her mother was a bird watcher and knew every bird. She had bird books upon bird books upon bird books. She had binoculars. And so it reminded her of her mother So it was just this tie. She sends me this Bob Ross thing. I sent her this card thing, not knowing, like not knowing at all. So it was just, you know, I'm just grateful to have met her on Instagram through her art, and then we shared this story. So it was kind of cool. There you go, you guys. That's it. I could take and stamp this on the inside. A little sentiment in here, but I'm going to leave it because I'm not sure if I'm going to do Easter or birthday yet for the little niece. Imagine the possibilities with this, right? Like the papers, the outlines, the glitter. It would be even fun just to take, and actually I might do this right now. I have this Wink of Stella brush, and just give this a little glam right over the top of that DSP, just so I get a little shimmer off of that. So I just love this die set because and I'm gonna have to get the little boy one now too, and probably I think it was called the baby doll dress. Now that I understand it, I told the guy, I'm like, I need to go home and try this before I get some more, because he's like, you're gonna need this one and you're gonna need this one, and now of course he was right, because now I gotta have the ones he was like trying to get me to buy at the time. But yeah, I gotta get a couple more because these are so easy. These scare me, and this is why. The shaper part, the die cut, like these have always scared me versus just doing, here's my nut card, my standard A2, right? Mixed media I can do because I feel like there's rules to this when I know there's not. When I feel like this mixed media, there's no rules. I can do what I want and it works. I feel like there's rules. Easy. I love this. I got to get a couple more. Let me do a little zoom in for you guys. Get this to zoom and stay focused. The key is to get this to stay focused. So the only thing I did wrong this evening on this one is when I put this white paper in here on this card base that was like 60-pound card base, it's not real thick, I got too close to the fold. So when I went to fold this over, it doesn't line up now. And it just started to kind of tear at the fold. So a little bit stronger card base, learning experience. And when I put this in, I would keep this away from the fold and trim this down here at the bottom to make it fit. But that's just from learning. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. Oh, thank you, Deb. Yeah, that's the nut card from this is the one from Peddler's Den. So it's just, oh nuts, I forgot your birthday. So that was my first card design for Peddler's Den. I'll give you guys a quick sneak peek. If you go, you've probably seen these on Instagram, and then I'll wrap up. These are my first couple projects for Brutus Monroe. So this is their flower doodle stamp. And it's a square stamp that I just fussy cut out and colored, and then I used their chroma sprays, their chroma glazes on here. I added some shimmer on here, and then so I used all the pieces of that square. Gotta zoom out a little bit more, don't I? And just made 3 different cards. So it actually was like it was like this. There was this, and then there was this one piece. This one piece was left. No, this was from when I practiced stamping, and then this is his Raven embossing glaze, so I was practicing there. So I just cut the piece that actually was the nicest. I cut that out and made a card out of it, so I didn't have waste. But I went online today, and these are on his website. So if you go to the Flower Doodle stamp, you'll see this one. If you go to the Plaid Petals, you'll see the other one. I don't have it right here. I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's over here. And then this one was cut out of one of his plaid papers that I did this, curled the petals, and so these made the website. So there you have it. All right, you guys, that's it. I actually got done within an hour. I think that's a record, but easy card, fun card. I think this is just going to be great for little girls' birthdays and stuff. Now I feel like I got some options to do little cutesy girly stuff. I'm going to use some glitter paper, and I think it would be fun to take now that outline, now that I know how to cut it, thank you, Don, and stack them. So then I have that dimension on there and stack them. But There's a video for shaker cards. I'm going to learn how to do this in a shaker. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Cordelia. T, always wonderful to see you. Thank you for stopping by. All you guys in the chat, thank you so much. This is my Thursday Night Live. That's going to stay. More to come on Brutus Monroe. I can't probably make this announcement yet, but more to come on that. Oh, and Jana, you were at the beginning. I haven't seen you in the chat. So thank you, Jana. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys next time. All right?